Hello everyone, welcome to the first welcome recording of Food Security AGR 100. I'm just going to show you how to log in. We're going to use Brightspace right there. So from Missouri State University homepage, that brings you to here. Your look will look a little different than mine because I am the teacher. So I have extra buttons here, and these are my courses, but yours should look something like this once you log in with your Microsoft account. So when you look at all your courses, the AGR 100 will be mine. And when you go there, this is what you'll see. You'll get a pop-up. I am not using this welcome pop-up, so you can just dismiss or click it if it comes out. I'm going to switch over to View as Learner real quick so that I know what you're seeing. And when you come to my page, this is pretty much what you will always see initially. Any new announcements will be popping up right here. They may populate. And I gotta say a quick disclaimer, I did not plan on transitioning till the summer, and I've only spent about a week on this. So we're gonna be learning together, and so I just ask you for some patience, but I'm figuring it out here slowly. You will have basically 3 squares. I have syllabus assignments you should see, packback you should see, and then the course content, which has all the unit materials and a few other things. Most things will be populated right here in the course content. But for today, we'll go through the syllabus, the assignment schedule, and packback to show you and to talk a little about how the class is laid out. All right. So with that, some of you might have used Brightspace before, and some of you may not have. You know that once you click on these, let's say I'm going to click on this one, you lose those squares, and while you have the content you clicked on right here in this right hand side, the other stuff is still available on your left hand side. So I could go right back to table of contents. There's the packback and unit 1, and you get other stuff that I have in here, syllabus assignments, and so you get it as kind of a scroll. So whether you start with those 3 squares or just start here, that's fine either way. Specifically though, the course content unit 1 is right here. So there's the pre-course survey I would like you all to take as soon as you find 15 minutes to do it. And then unit 1 material is right here. You can always expand it by clicking on those arrows. If you've used Google Classroom, it's similar to that. It's also a little similar to Canvas, other things. This is the first time I have used Brightspace. But again, typically if it's blue, it's a link. So there's your week 1 material. I always lay these out generally in the order I'd like you to do them so that you wouldn't do the second. It doesn't always matter, but generally speaking, and for this first week for sure, I'd like you to go in that order where you would do this first, this second, and this third, clearly. And that all, I'm going to go ahead and collapse this, after you do the pre-course survey. There's no point in a pre-course survey if you already have been starting the course. But anyway, so anything that has to do with the Unit 1 exam will be populating here. Next week, there'll be week 2 material and so forth, and week 3. First exam is during week 5. So the first 5 weeks of material will be right here under course content. It'll pop up just like this, course content. I'm not sure what this download is. Probably you can download these things. You don't need to. When you come here, if you want to download PowerPoint, you can do that. Most of these are just web pages though and videos. Okay, so like I said, let's go to the syllabus and assignments and then packback. You've seen where everything is going to be under course content. But today, to look at the syllabus, I think you can hide that side if you'd like, but we're just going to click on it and it opens up in a preview page. If you want to print it out, put it in your folder, you can. I won't take video time here to read to you, so go ahead and pause the video if you'd like to read now, or read it on your own time. But here's the course description of what food security is, the objectives, and our general education goals. This is a general ed program course, so you do not have to be environmental studies, natural resources, conservation, agriculture, any of those. This relates to all majors, and these are the student outcomes being a general ed course. There is no textbook for this class. Everything will be on the website or Brightspace and PackBack, namely the readings, maybe some of the videos, not many, and what else? Discussions and PowerPoints will be the source of the exams. These are excellent websites right here. Namely these, well, they're all excellent websites, and do at least click on to see what they are once and the kind of information they have there. It'll be a whole new world for some of you, especially if you're not an ag major, and the role that ag plays in society and civilization. So this is a service learning course. This is a service learning course. And for the third time, to repeat for emphasis, be sure that you understand this is an introduction to service learning. All right, and what that means is you'll be required during this semester to perform 4 hours of service with the community learning side that relates to food security topics, and we'll cover here in a few moments down below. So many different things go. We will talk about this more in the future, particularly after exam 1 has been taken. So about week 5 or 6 is when you want to start putting together your ideas and thoughts for where you want to do your service learning at as it relates to this course. If you want to move faster on that, just email me, let me know. If you already know what that's all about and you have a regular service learning or community service that you do, that's fine. You can do it within the first 4 weeks too. But for this course purposes, I'll release that information on week 6, and you'll have 3 weeks, week 6, week 7, and week 8 to kind of look around, poke around, websites, phone numbers, and find a place to do your community service. You can do it in 2 2-hour blocks or 1 4-hour block or any time, and you have the entire semester to complete this, and then I'll tell you more about the reflection. Again, you can pause to read this. All right, so you see there's just very few assignments. There's really only 4 not quizzes, but 4 assignments. I do call 2 of them quizzes, but 2 video, 1 short answer essay, and then 1 short essay quiz. 2 of those may be selected at my discretion to replace PackBack if you miss those. So you'll have 8 PackBack discussions, 7 will be taken, 1 will be dropped. You can read this information on exams. The grading is simply a percentage of the total points. You can read through this paragraph. Instructions for PackBack, and I'll show you here how to get to it quite easily so that you don't need to do most of this. But if you're ever wondering about PackBack requirements, this is a very important part. Number 1 and number 2, you have 3 posts every 2 weeks. That's not too much. I used to have a weekly post, and then I've had 4 posts for every 2 weeks. This is the most flexible. Whether you choose to do it all in one night, I don't recommend, or do it all at the beginning of a week, that's fine. I would say do it as it seems natural to you. When you're covering a PowerPoint, when you're listening to something else or reading what somebody else said, these are excellent times whenever you're stimulated or inspired with a new thought and curiosity. There is no dumb question, and people will respond, and you'll find out very quickly your question was actually a good question because it was shared by maybe 20 other people in this class. So let's see if you're the first to ask it before somebody else does, which does happen. We'll get some repeat questions, but the earlier you post your question, your one question within a 2-week time period, the more responses you'll get to your question. Just some general things about PackBack. A few of you might have used this before. It can be laborious because it's on a regular basis, and it forces you to think and to delve, and so it takes time, and that's why I've eliminated 1 response at least. So you're really only putting 1 question every 2 week within a 2-week period, and 2 responses to other people's. Anyway, you can read through that, and I'll show you how to get to it later. But for now, going back through the syllabus, here are the topics, weeks 1 through 16. This is not necessarily a calendar. This is just telling you the topics that we're going to cover within the 16 weeks. You can pause and look at that. What you see here in the beginning is kind of a general introduction to food security and what it is in this first week, but also a little bit about the history of agriculture, and namely agriculture in the U.S. and how it developed in the world. That will be week 2. So you get a background of how we get food, basically, or the role of food in society. And then we look at some of the challenges in light of food insecurity, and we look at those factors that affect food production and things we must keep in mind as a part of that grand challenge, all things to be talked about later. You get a hint from some of these topics. And the third one, we'll deal with other policies and things such as pesticide use, genetic engineering, food safety, and you can see that there. All right, when you come around to thinking about your service learning, here are examples of opportunities for volunteering. You can click on any of those websites to learn more, and a short description of the mission of that particular place. These are somewhat the most obvious and the most utilized service learning locations: Cross Lines, Convoy of Hope, and Ozark Food Harvest. All are some kind of a food pantry. Some work locally, some work statewide, some work internationally. All right, and you can read through expectations and so forth. So that's the syllabus, and that's your schedule of topics. Let's move forward. I'm going back to syllabus with that little up here. I'm going to click on assignment due dates. There's oftentimes confusion here, so I just want to be sure when you come to the assignment, this is not going to link to the assignment. This is just giving you an idea for your schedule, what you can expect. So this week there's a pre-course evaluation, and hopefully you do that by the 22nd or Monday, preferably within these first 3 days. All right, and within that, I did not put here, but it's not a grade, is your introduction of yourself. So during week 1, I will assign, or during week 2, I will assign the worst mistake. This will be your video response to a question I pose here. You have the entire week 2 to do it, and so you can see the 28th is a Sunday midnight. Almost all of these are Sunday midnight due dates. Sometimes they follow the week in which they assigned. Sometimes, let's look right here, for instance, essay reaction to Alan Savory. Okay, that's assigned in week 8. That ends on March 4, I believe. So that's not due until March 24. So this is the week assigned. This is the due date. These are the only things we're doing in the class. You'll notice there's 2 assignments for a grade here, 2 assignments for a grade here. No assignments during Unit 3 because that's when you're doing, ideally, but you don't have to, you can do it anytime, you're conducting your service learning hours. So anytime between week 7 and week 14 you can do that, but kind of prorating your Unit 3 experience so that for the most part the month of April there's no homework other than maybe doing your reflections and just, of course, going through the course material. All right. And final, there's 4 exams in this class. Any exam can be dropped. The lowest grade will be dropped, but you must take all 4 exams. So if you want to have the lowest of your exams taken, you have to have attempted all 4 of them, and then yes, a low grade will be dropped. Don't worry about this. This is fall and whatnot. Don't scroll too far. That's all you really need is food security in the spring. These are the dates and the assignments. So again, as a review, you have your syllabus right here, and you have, for your convenience, assignment due dates if you want to see, because these are not all through Brightspace. Whenever you go to, it shows you on the front page. Let me go ahead and show you again. It might have a work to do. Not all the assignments will be picked up by this work to do tab. You can expand this widget and you see there's nothing here. But it doesn't know that I would like you to click into Flipgrid and Packback, and those are not integrated as grades yet, but you will see the grades populate. All right, so I showed you the course content layout. I've shown you the syllabus and assignments. So let's go to Packback. I could click here and we'll go straight to Packback, but I want to get there through the course content because I want to show you probably where you'll be most of the time, or even from there. You can click on Pack Back here. 1, 2, and then of course the previous page, you can click on it. No matter where, the first time you'll have to log in and establish. This is already paid for, okay? This is already paid for when you registered for classes. There might be a couple of you that chose not to do this. It is upon you then to figure out when and how you want to pay for it to get it. But given 7 assignments are from here, it's about 14% of your grade. You do need to have it. I don't require a textbook, but I do require the Pack Back discussion. So they're all laid out here. You can only click into the one that's open. That's for the first week, and you'll have those 3 posts due by January 28th. All right, there's my question. All right, and you'd answer yes or no in response. So this would be one post right here. So just responding to my post, you will have accomplished 1. So you'll still need to post your own question, and you will still need to respond to 1 other, and you'll have satisfied it for January 28th. So that's what it looks like. It's really cool, somewhat gamified. There's a leaderboard right here so you can see who's earning the most points. 2 ways to earn points. Well, one is just to see that you've completed the assignments, but these curiosity points, for instance, 67. I can get as high as 120 here. 50 is the minimum required of curiosity points. So this little symbol with 67 tells me my question. Well, there you go. You can read more about it if you'd like by clicking there. But how do I go back now? There we are. Anyway, let me know if you have questions. I'll try to explain this again, but this is the assignment. It's ongoing. So I did not put it in the assignments and syllabus schedule that we just reviewed right here. There is no mention of Pack Back because Pack Back is ongoing. This would have another 7 or 8 lines just to say Pack Back due, Pack Back due, Pack Back due. Maybe that would be convenient, but I just feel like if you approach this assignment with the idea that anytime you have thoughts or questions, you can get on, it's open, okay? But one thing that will frequently happen is somebody will miss a deadline and they'll be like, oh, can I go back and do Pack Back 1 because I really didn't understand it at that time, but now I do, and it's Pack Back 4, and you're like, unfortunately, no. So once that time period is passed, you may continue to post, but it's going to go into the, at that time, current. And you can always talk about anything, okay? You can talk about topics from Pack Back number 1 or Unit 1 at any point during the term. This is completely, I mean, unless I jump on, you know, maybe week 5, I might post a particular something that I want you to address, then you're limited. But right now, I'm not doing that. This is totally open-ended. Your fearless curiosity is what drives the discussion. And I'll tell you the truth, man, I am always freaked by how well thought out and the kinds of questions you guys ask. It keeps me up to date. That's one of the best things I love about it, is hearing your insight to these issues and seeing the support. I always find great websites from y'all when y'all post, like here, I did not, well, you don't see it, but sometimes a citation can be put in there for your question, and others can click on it if they want to see what you're talking about more accurately. So you can get there through here. Same place. Well, I guess it takes you there. Okay, so you have to do twice if you click it on that one. And voila. All right, table of contents. You'll notice when you go back to table of contents, you don't get those squares again, but it is all right here. So there's the Pack Back again. I'm going to close that. Clicking these arrows. Clicking these arrows, we'll keep those. And now, here's your pre-course survey I'd like you to take. This is again under table of contents. There's the Pack Back. You're ready to discuss or answer my question. And then all the Unit 1 material. Just click on it. It opens up, and you can begin the course material anytime you're ready. I think I've covered everything. That's about 20 minutes there. Hope that helps. Email if you have questions. My office hours that I'm available if you want to swing by the office and you're on campus. I'm there a lot, but designated is Wednesdays and Thursdays between 1 and 3. We can meet outside that as well with a little heads up notice from you. Okay? Well, looking forward to seeing your faces as I watch your interviews. Oh, right, so click. So in that first, right before I let you go, be sure to find these links right here. So click here to watch my cheeky introduction, and you can leave your own. You can click here to sign into Flip as well. You don't really need to go to both. Just going here is fine enough. And watch my introduction and leave your own. All right. Hope that answers most questions with the layout for Brightspace and what's involved in this class for the semester. Do enjoy. I look forward to hearing from you.